All right, good evening, everybody. It's just Rich and I for now. Maybe Kathy will show up. I know she's busy working, but it's just the two of us talk about some Friday stuff, leftovers part two, and I want to talk about what I noticed was went to the playoff game Wednesday, Griswold against Tolland. Man, what a game that was!
Now, is that JV or V?
That's varsity.
Okay.
It was the high school, and
Yeah.
unbelievable. I thought they were done. The last minute, Tom made a couple mistakes, turnovers. Griswold took advantage of it and won 63-60. It was
Nice.
unbelievable game. It was streamed. A lot of people were watching.
Oh, they're playing tonight too, right?
They're playing tonight. I'll be going to that game right after this.
Who they playing? Stonington, right?
I suppose. I don't know who won
the
game.
Depending on who won.
Most likely it was Stonington. I think they were, like I said, they were the number 5 seed, I think. So, anyway. Mike will know. Mike is heading there now to set up to stream the game. That's where he's at. So there you go.
The game's at Griswold tonight too?
Yes. The game's at 7 at Griswold. Had a little bit of excitement here late in the afternoon. Guess we had a nasty accident in Lisbon side by Green Onion.
Yeah, a state trooper's car was involved in that one.
Decided to fall in the lake there.
Don't know what happened there, but
and the fire department rescued the individual and the state cop. So there you go. Anyway, water's cold out there. Be careful. What do you got going on, Rich? Anything?
No, not a lot.
How's the wife doing?
Yeah, I think she's getting better. I think the medication that they changed on her yesterday is actually starting to do something.
Starting to hear better?
It's a little bit. Yeah, I noticed she doesn't have to get as close and lean into you type of thing. She can, and I don't have to yell as loud.
How about the TV volume?
Well, yeah, I don't know.
You have to buy a new TV after she blows the speakers out?
Bad. That was so bad. I was in the living room with the TV on now. Listen, I got hearing problems myself, but I keep it as low as I can to hear it. She had that thing down there. The neighbors could. It was so bad. I went down and shut the bedroom door, and it was still too loud. And it's like, holy Jesus, stop. But her cough's starting to go away and all that stuff. So it's just really weird. I don't know. I mean, we know what happened with the hearing. It was the water from the pool that got in her ears. But as far as the cough goes, I don't know where the hell that came from. But it seems to be going around. I got a little bit of it.
I had it.
Yeah, I got a
Kathy
little bit.
had it. Rich had it.
Yeah, but you had other things too, though.
Yeah.
I have not. Neither has she.
So it's been nasty.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that. It took
is.
a couple weeks to get over it. But
yep.
And I got, my wife always complains about my hearing too, but when you're working in the industry,
sure,
at a power plant,
sure. I worked at EV for 10 years. I mean,
you lose a little bit of hearing.
They didn't make you wear earplugs back then.
I was in the Navy. We didn't wear any earplugs.
Nope.
Yep. The front end of the boat was fairly quiet. The back end of the boat was where all the noise is, and that's where I lived.
Exactly right.
That was it was more than just an adventure or a job.
Long-lasting memories.
Anyway, so we got the game tonight, big game, and I expect it to be just as exciting as it was the other night.
Hopefully they're ready for it.
And hopefully they win it.
Well,
they were a bit cold from the 3-point line, so hopefully they improve on that.
Now, is this the final tonight?
I don't know. This is part 2.
Oh, okay.
So I think after this game, they go to the next stop, and I don't think it's at Griswold, wherever they have to go play the next,
all right.
Next higher seed. So,
well, good luck.
No Kathy. So it'll just be you and I trying to keep these people interested. If anybody's listening,
what's Paul doing?
I don't know what he's doing.
Grooming his cats.
I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. Maybe sucking down some more shakes. I don't know. I hope your mouth is doing better, Paul. So, anyway, what else is going on?
I don't know.
So a little bit of stuff going on with the tax changes on the cars.
I heard that.
And then for the the veterans?
Veterans too.
Get
exemptions
on houses and stuff like that. Yep. So that's impacting all the towns
I heard
throughout the state.
I heard that was full exemption
and their revenues. Yeah. So That's a big deal with the revenues going on now. And
The
then-
cars is everybody, but it's about depreciation.
Yep.
From what I think I saw, and let's face it, the town's still going to need that money. So guess what's going to happen?
Yeah, it's basically a baseline, right?
Sure.
So,
But I heard about that, and I heard that in town they were surprised that they had 60, 70 veterans that qualify for that for the houses.
that's a lot of
That's
money.
a lot of money.
Between the cars and that's a lot
Sure,
of
if
money.
the average house is $3,000 or $4,000, that's a
Yep.
lot of money.
So, I guess they've changed some of those recently. So they have to.
And there was no
I think it's going to be a little longer to work through the budget processes
Yeah.
for all the towns, all these changes, and
the
looking
state's
at
not
the
kicking
revenues. and
back
everything.
any money on any of that either,
Mm.
from what I heard. So it's all on the townspeople.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be happy people this year, but it's basically all the state that's doing this. It's got nothing to do with the localities. So,
True.
so we'll have to figure out what to
Hmm.
do. Let's see. Anybody else out there? Are the one or two individuals that are listening? Got anything they want to add? Anything they want to know? You got any trips coming up rest of the year?
I got to go. Well, once we get straightened out from all of this mess right now, but we got to take a long weekend down to my my son and my daughter-in-law's down in North Carolina. Go see the newest grandchild before she turns 5.
Yeah.
So we got to get down there, but nah, that'd be about it. And then Thanksgiving we always go to my daughter's in West Virginia, so maybe this year they'll come over with her too. So that'll be good. They didn't do it last year because she was just born, so I get that. But
Okay.
traveling in the wintertime is always a toss of the coin whether you're going to make it or not. So
What about those winds overnight?
wow, today was terrible.
I think we lost power a couple times.
I lost it, best I could tell by my clocks, probably about 3:00 this morning, and it couldn't have been too long because I didn't hear the generator start. So
No, it wasn't long at all.
two
but
clocks,
I
two
noticed.
clocks were blinking, 2 weren't. So I know it couldn't have been too bad.
Yeah. So all I know is when I looked out this morning, I had all my furniture covers all over the place.
Oh god, yeah. My garbage pail was out.
I'm
in the
just
middle
glad
of
my
my
grill
driveway.
didn't get blown
Yeah,
over because
yeah.
that's a mess.
Yeah,
So anyway,
it was windy,
oh yeah,
and it just made it feel 40 degrees colder.
oh yeah. So
Yep.
let's see what else is going on. During the budget season, the town, that's the big deal right now. Everybody's going through their budgets. Don't have the event calendar person here. She's not here.
Yeah, I don't
Talk
think
about what's coming up
I don't think there's anything
next week. I think the school's got a couple of the dinner theater things going on next Tuesday and Wednesday. They talked about that this last Monday.
Yeah, I don't think there's any development things. Nothing's happening there. I don't
Music
believe.
bingo tonight at the
Music
VFW.
bingo. Yeah, I don't think we're going to make that.
No, we're not going to make it. We'll be at the game. We usually go. We'll be
we
at the
do too.
game,
It's
rooting
fun.
them on.
It's fun
Yeah, it's fun.
and it's cheap.
Yep, cheap entertainment.
Sure.
So, all right. I'm dry. I mean, I got things to
know.
talk about, but I can't talk about them. So, anyway,
Been silenced.
yeah, complete silence. Other than
That's for another time of day, right?
another time of day. Yeah. So,
Yeah, but it's not. I don't think there's a whole lot going on in town. To be honest with you, I mean, you follow what's getting put out there for the selectmen's weekly duties and all that stuff, and there is something going on with the developer somewhere. I don't know what, but there was mention of it. So
Yep.
something might be brewing.
well, that's good. I don't know. I really got nothing. It's kind of tough between the two of us.
Yeah,
There's
right.
stuff that we want to talk about, but we
I
can't
know,
really
I
talk
know.
about. So there you go. And we both don't follow sports that much.
No.
Although I did see the Bruins giving up a couple players. It looks like they're. So it's funny. His son and I went and saw probably the best game they ever played when he was home during Christmas. They beat, I think it was the Blue Jackets. They beat them 4-0.
You went to that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And after that, they've pretty much been on a downhill slide. And now it looks like they got rid of Brad Marchand, who's like the captain of the team. He's been on that team since he was a rookie.
Oh.
And I hate to see him go, but it looks like they're in rebuild mode. And they also traded Coyle. So, it looks like they're just, doing what they can to rebuild the team.
Yeah, salvage the rest of the season and move on, right?
There's not much to salvage.
Well,
they've had an awful second half of the season.
Yeah, I never really followed hockey. I never followed basketball or not even. I watched baseball once in a great while, but and even football, I haven't watched it as much as in the last 4 or 5 years that I used to watch it either.
I enjoy watching some football, but maybe it's because I'm older or whatever, but it's like the amount of money these guys make, and then they complain about stuff. Some of them, not all of them, but some of them complain about stuff. It's like, really, for me, it's a big turnoff with all the money that they're making.
I agree.
It's ridiculous, but that's the way it is. It's a business, so they can make those $30-40 million a year. But baseball wise, the Red Sox have made some trades or made some acquisitions. I'm not so I'm not so sure about their pitching staff yet, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I haven't really been following them the last year or two either.
No, they're not really my team anyway. So
the Yankees are the Yankees.
Yankees. They get to the big dance and they flop.
They'll be there somewhere.
They get to the big game and they flop. Jesus.
Now we're getting all the Yankee fans. Getting a lot of feedback. Yeah. So anyway, while we're thinking about something to talk about, I think I'll run some commercials. And here we go.
You buy better.
Better it burns.
Much better.
So much better it burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better it burns.
You buy better, it burns. You buy better.
The more things change, the more they stay the same. The insurance industry is changing every day, from rates to coverages, what qualifies and what doesn't. What always stays the same, though? The Burns Agency's commitment to quality local customer service at unbeatable prices. Call, email, or visit us at byrnesagency.com. Or, like always, stop by our convenient locations in Norwich and Dayville. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
Better.
Better it burns.
Much better.
So much better it burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy.
Buying,
I can certainly have that conversation with you.
refinancing, or renovating. Your home goals may just be closer and easier than you think with help from your neighbors at Eastern. The lending team at Eastern Connecticut Savings Bank would love to help you understand all the options available to you. And they're happy to help you every step of the way in achieving your dreams because they live where you live. Stop into a branch location or reach out in their easy online mortgage lending center. Get started with Eastern Connecticut Savings Bank at bankeasternct.com. That's bankeasternct.com.
You know who.
Strain Family Motors has arrived. They're your local auto super center. Put some excitement in your day and rent a Polaris Slingshot from Strain Family Motors, adjacent to the Green Onion Restaurant on River Road. Check out Strain Family Motors Super Center on Facebook as well as strainfamilymotors.com for everything sales, service, and excitement. River Road, Lisbon, Strain Family Motors, your local.
Is it safe to visit the dentist? In a word, yes, especially if that dentist is Dr. Katzoff and the staff at Griswold Dental Associates. They follow all the latest safety protocols while doing what they do best, taking care of you. From preventive to restorative, your dental care couldn't be in better hands. To schedule your appointment, call Griswold Dental Associates today, 860-376-2626. That's 860-376-2626.
If you're talking, they will hear you.
Why are we getting killed like this?
Kyle's not here. Got caught drinking beer in the park a couple of nights ago.
Really?
Yeah, 0 tolerance. He's out for the season.
Harsh.
Hey, he knew not to drink. We've made that clear to all of our kids, right?
No, not really.
Bill, if we don't tell them what we expect and why they shouldn't drink, how are they going to know?
Talk. They hear you. For more information, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Life is full of choices. At Jewett City Savings Bank, we can make one choice easy, finding the right checking account. We offer a range of affordable accounts to fit your budget and needs, and each gives you the freedom to access your money the way you want, online, through our mobile app, or with your debit card. It's your money and your choice. To learn more about the account that's right for you, stop by one of our offices or visit us at jcsbank.com. Jewett.
And we're back.
Holy cow.
So, Rich, before you kick the bucket, and I kick the bucket, what would you like to do?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I've done a lot of things. I say me and my wife, we've done a lot of things. We've been very fortunate to be able to do a lot of things when we wanted. Cruise last week. I mean, it's number 12 and number 13 in the books for that. But, I'm really not sure. I mean, I'd like to go out. We ride motorcycles, so I would like to go out and, just take, I don't even know how long, whatever it took, and go out and ride out in Sturgis, but not during bike week because it's just way too congested. And, they say you have a better time if you go out there when it's not bike week. You can get a hotel room. You don't have to sleep in a tent in a dirt parking lot someplace.
Did you go out with a bunch of your buddies?
Well, yeah. I mean, even if she wanted to go, I mean, I don't know. She's done the thing when she was still working with our neighbor next door. Her and Helen, it was her boss at work. I mean, they did the Florida trips every year. They'd rent a house and go down there for, God, I think it started off with a week and then they ended up doing a month, it was insane, but hey, whatever. I mean, you want to do it, go do it. I don't know. I'm not big on, it's hard to say. I mean, I can have fun going to the Old Mystic Village for crying out loud, you know what I mean? But, yeah, I don't know. If I had to put something out there, I mean, I've been to so many places on cruises that it'd be like some of those places. Would I like to go back and spend a week there in an all-inclusive? Maybe, I mean, things like that. Just go and relax somewhere and just do nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to probably, because I'm a golfer.
Right.
I'd probably like to go to Ireland, do a little golf in there. Yeah. Scotland and England, do a little golf in there. I'd like to go out to Hawaii, being a Navy guy, and see Pearl Harbor and go through that tour. I heard that's a great thing to do. Play some golf there.
Sure.
They got some nice courses out there. That's a long flight, though.
Oh, we looked at my grandson is in the marching band in the school that he goes to in West Virginia, and they're going out there for Pearl Harbor Day or something. I guess their marching band got invited to go out there because they were like, I don't know, number 2 in the country or something like that. But they have to pay for it. And they've been drumming up money. And I want to say that's like 18 hours for flying? Or somewhere in that area. It's a lot. I mean, you go to California and catch a plane from there, it's like another 10 hours or more from there, I think.
Yeah.
It's a lot. We were going to do it one time on a cruise ship, but it was just going to be so hectic to fly to California, catch a flight from there the next day to Hawaii, and still be a day before the cruise because, listen, you're not going to fly in the same day and get on a boat and go.
Yeah.
And by the time we were all said and done, it was like $5,000. This is 15, 20 years ago. It was going to be like $5,000, and we hadn't spent a dime on anything other than airfare and the cruise fare. That was it. So now you start doing excursions and buying stuff, and it wasn't going to be a cheap deal. But maybe someday. I don't know.
Yeah,
my uncle was stationed out there in the Navy for a while.
Yeah, I like to go at least do that once.
Yeah,
just to see all that, go through it. So, I mean, I saw some of Europe when I was in the Navy. I saw some of South America. There's still a lot of the United States I haven't seen. So
Have you ever been to the Nautilus, Tony Groton?
Yeah,
See,
I've
now,
seen
it's
enough
funny,
submarines. I've seen enough
hey,
submarines.
listen, I built them for 10 years. Don't get me wrong. I didn't ride them, but I built them. But I've never been to the Nautilus. But like when I go riding with my buddies in New Jersey, we've gone down there. They got the battleships or whatnot, but there's the New Jersey's there. The other one that just got hauled out, it's being hauled out and dumped in the ocean someplace to make a coral reef or something, a fish, whatever. I forget which one it was, but that's getting hauled out now. But yeah, I've gone and seen those boats other places, but I've never been on the Nautilus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something to do.
Yeah.
It's
that kind of stuff interests me.
It's a little smaller than the boat that I was on.
Oh God, yeah. That stuff interests me.
Yeah, but my boat that I was mostly on was the Next Generation. It was the Skipjack class.
Yeah. I worked on 688s and Tridents, so they were obviously bigger.
Yes, I was on a few 688s. Not assigned to them, but they would park next to us. Sometimes we need some parts. They might have some parts. And we go over there, get the parts. And sometimes you go there just get a tour of the boat.
Sure.
If you had duty or something like that, the duty officer lets you go, take turns. A couple guys go over there, take a tour of the boat, come back.
Yeah.
Then they come over, take a tour of our boat, say, Jesus, it's tight.
How do you do it?
How do you do it?
Yep.
I said,
and then you go on a Trident. Holy cow. That was
never
amazing.
been on a Trident.
I worked on a bunch of them.
We didn't have too many boomers come up our way. It wasn't a typical station for boomers.
Yeah. So. Then I worked on an old, when I worked at EB, I went to Virginia for a month, worked on the 611, the John Marshall down there. And it was an old boomer back in the Carter days when they took out the missile tubes and filled them with concrete and, destroyed them so they couldn't be used anymore. And we had to empty out 2 of those tubes to put underwater diving team deployment out of them.
Yeah.
It was pretty interesting. They did 2 of them boats. They did one there and they did one out in Hawaii. I did not go to Hawaii, but I did the one in Virginia. So that was a small ship.
You're talking about all that stuff. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with the rebuild of the military and building up, and trying to catch up with the Chinese and stuff like that, and what they've been doing for the last 20 years, building up their military and their Navy and everything else. And
I just read an article in the paper yesterday that the Chinese have the technology now for some kind of, they don't have a propeller on the back of their submarines anymore. They have something, I forget, it's with water. And I forget how it worked. I didn't read the whole thing, but it was like, holy crap. And they say these things can move, but they make a lot of noise.
A lot of cavitation probably.
Yep.
So I don't know. Funny you say that because I don't know. Did you see the movie Hunt for Red October? They had something similar to that.
Yep.
Technology without the propeller, some kind of, it was almost like a jet propulsion
kind of
underwater.
Yep. But it makes bubbles, and the bubbles make noise. They said it sounds like rocks when you're listening to it. It sounds like rocks.
Yeah. Well, that kind of defeats the purpose of having a quiet submarine, right? So, anyway, that was an experience.
I'd like to have gone and rode on one. I went down to the base one time when my grandfather was still in the Navy. He was on the Sea Robin. That was an old one. It was like the whole number on that thing was like 200 and something. It's
a diesel.
Oh yeah. And he took me down there. This is when you could do this stuff, right? Took me down there to go have lunch with the boys one day. And we did. Down in the galley, sat down there and had lunch with them and got a little tour of the boat, the non-important side of it.
Yeah.
And it was kind of interesting. It probably wasn't.
My wife came down the boat, had I think it was Thanksgiving. Duty Thanksgiving, she came down.
Could have been 8 years old, I'll bet.
Yeah. Yeah, so she had Thanksgiving dinner with us. I think I don't know, once or twice she came on the boat. Only the front end. They didn't let anybody in the back end.
Yeah, right.
And they really didn't let too many other spaces on the front end. So, but
yeah, you weren't going in the control
room. But the
room,
galley's nothing.
Radio room or nothing like that, right?
Getting to the galley's not a big deal.
That's it.
So, but even she said, I don't know how you do it.
Yeah. Go out for 6 months at a time, and I don't know. That'd be tough. Especially if
it wasn't
you're
too hard for me. I wasn't
most
a
of
big
that.
guy anyway, so there you go.
Yeah, you're underwater most of that time. You don't even know where you are.
We had some guys on the boat that were like 6'3", 6'4", whatever. And I'm like, oh my God. One guy kept banging his head on something in the overhead constantly, So.
And the deeper they go, the smaller they get too.
Yeah. So So I don't know. What else would I like to do? I don't know. I guess I always wanted to just jump in the truck and just take off.
And
I always thought when I retired, just
wherever you go, you go.
Just go. You
like
know,
a lot of people do
swing
the
down.
state park, the national parks.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people do that. I know 2 people I know that did it when they
Yeah, our
retired.
neighbors just recently did some of that this last summer. So
Sold their house, bought a big 5th wheel and a new truck, and off they went. They did it for like 4 or 5 years.
if I were to do that, I'd be going by myself.
I know. Sold their shit and bought a house, and they're out in the Midwest someplace now, enjoying the rest of their life. One's in Florida, one's out in the Midwest.
There you go.
Wow.
Yeah, seeing some of the national parks, that'd be nice. Just jump in the truck, go down there, visit my son down there, go down south, and then swing up to California, see my sister out there, swing on up,
get Route 66,
Washington
run Route
State,
66.
come back across,
Yep.
go through the Midwest some.
Sure.
Oh yeah. So some people, they go around and during baseball season, they try and catch as many baseball stadiums, right? Travel stadium to stadium, catch a ball game.
Yeah.
And same thing with like the football stadiums do the same thing. It's harder though in the winter.
Sure.
With all the weather and stuff, but yeah, it's a lot to do. So
all depends on what your interests are.
anybody else got anything they'd like to do before they kick the bucket list items? I like to get a hole in one before I go. I have not. I've come close, but I've never gotten one. So
used to be able to do that in mini golf.
Mini golf's different story. I hit one that hit the stick, hit the hole, it like almost destroyed the hole, and it just sat like an inch from the lip. So it was like, really? Come on.
Jeez. Wow.
So yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, we used to have a golf league down at EB. I never played, but one of the guys that was in our union, actually, I think he might have been the president at the time, the golf league. Well, I forget what he got, but he did do a hole in one on one of the tournaments one time. It was the talk of the yard. Guess it's a pretty good thing.
If you play in some big tournaments and that sponsored well, you can win. I remember when I was playing in. I pulled into the parking lot. I parked next to this car, and it looked like I went through a hailstorm. It had pot marks all over it. Right. I said, "Oh man, that's unfortunate." Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Apparently, during the tournament, that guy got a hole in one and won a car.
Wow.
You want to talk about karma?
I don't remember what this guy got. So far back, I can't remember. I don't think it was a vehicle. I think it was money for some reason. But yeah, it was. That's got to be one amazing day if you're a golfer.
Yeah, they've had some. I've seen like $10,000 you can win, or vacations.
Sure,
cruises, that kind of stuff. Depends. Set of clubs. They usually have 3 or 4 holes that are par threes that have different prizes associated with it. But yeah, used to do a lot of that. Not much anymore, but. I mean, they're just starting to get really expensive now. There was one we used to play every year. It's now up to $250 to play in per person. Per person. So it's $1,000 for a foursome. So and yeah, they have a lot of great prizes, stuff like that. And then they have a great meal afterwards and all that. But it's
guys I worked with at Norwich. We had 4 guys that used to team up. Actually, I think they had a couple of teams. I think that used to get into that. Yeah. It wasn't that much money. I know that.
No, and it always used to be a little bit more than the other terms, but then now it's just getting a little. And being retired now, fixed budget.
That's right. Got to zip that pocket up a little bit once in a while.
Even a couple of the other guys are still working. They were like, "Nah, that's a little too much for my wallet." So
yeah.
So,
oh yeah. Well, that's like So I like bike riding. So Harley just pumped out a new bike this year. They're only putting out 131 of these things. I don't think it's anything that I would want to begin with, just looking at it. But I guess it's, from what I read about it, it's quite the machine. But it's $110,000. And I was like, holy shit. But that's That's
Is it gold plated?
That's to the dealer. Now the dealers, they can inflate that price. They always do, like on the anniversary models and stuff like that. Especially this with a limited amount of them, 131 of them. You know, it's going to go for more than 110 grand. And I was talking to my buddy today about it. I said, it's a cool looking bike. It's a nice looking bike. I don't know what Harley was thinking. People are going to buy them. They're going to end up in their garages, covered up for the rest of their life. It's just something you're not going to want to drive. I guess it's got all kinds of crazy power. I mean, it's just, it's wild. But for 110,000, nah, there's just a whole lot back and forth on that. My brother got a hold of me. He said, you're going to go look at that? Because I brought a bike in for service one time and bought another bike while I was in the service department. I've done this stuff, but I don't work anymore either, like you were just saying. So it's a different world. I mean, if I was still working and had a few more years to go, you know what? I may look into one of those $110,000 bikes, but it's not happening. And he thought it was only 75,000. I says, nah, that would be a bargain. I says, you better go back and read it. And he came back. He's, holy Christ, that's insane. I says, yeah, 110,000. And that's MSRP. It'll go up. When it hits the floor, it'll go up.
So I was watching something yesterday, and there was down in Daytona. I guess they're having some bike thing down in Daytona.
Daytona Bike Week. It came in when we were leaving.
Yep. And they were rattling off some prices on some of the bikes that they were selling down there. And it was nothing near that. It was like $30,000 for some bikes, stuff like that. I mean, I haven't really been looking at prices on bikes because I'm not really a motorcycle guy. But
no, right.
I'm like, holy moly, $30,000. Now you're telling me
if you just
$110,000.
Yeah, no, if you just want like what they call a bagger, 2 people comfortable, the tour pack on the back, the 2 side bags. I mean, you can be in one of them for in the mid 30s. Harley makes their CVO line, which is like a step up from them. I mean, they're probably 10 grand more, in the mid 40s and up. Indians got them. I've got one right now. It was 42,000, but if you were into motorcycling, you don't need to be $110,000 deep. And this is not a bike you're going to get on and go long term. I mean, it's just not. No,
if you're going to go cruising, you're going to want something comfortable.
Yeah.
Right.
This thing's going to just want to go. I mean, it's not going to want to be the back road guy, I mean, it's insane.
Wow. Yeah. I'm looking at prices on trucks. My truck's like
$70,000-$80,000.
Just over 11 years old. And I'm like, a couple of years I'll be looking at it. And I'm like, oh my God, this truck's like 70, 80 grand now. It's like,
I wouldn't do it.
So right now it's running good. So it's like a lot of people nowadays they're holding on to their vehicles longer.
Sure.
Not only that, when you buy something, then the taxes go up, the insurance goes up.
That's the thing.
All that stuff.
This bike at 110 grand. If you could buy it for 110, I mean that's $6,600 worth of taxes right up front in the beginning.
Yeah.
Never mind what your property taxes are going to be on that thing every year. I mean, Jesus, I pay. I don't know, for the one I got now, I'm paying $700-800 a year, and it's a third of the price of that thing. Like I couldn't imagine.
No, and I never thought I'd look at buying a used vehicle, but I might have to. But then again, they're not going to be much cheaper.
You're going to be buying somebody else's problem too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's always the thought.
So I don't know.
I don't know either. Listen, my truck's clean. It's in good shape. It runs good. It's got low mileage. I'm going to ride it till I can't.
Yeah, unfortunately, I had this truck most of the years. I was still working, so I rolled. I did.
Did you buy it new?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's up there. It's over 200,000 miles on it. So it's
wow. But you maintain it though, so I mean.
Yeah. Get in there for the regular oil changes and all that stuff, all the regular stuff. I mean, it keeps chugging along.
And you got it before all that fuel management crap where they shut down 4 cylinders and now they find out that's wiping out powertrains. And
no, it doesn't. Mine shuts down.
Does it really?
Yeah. If it's not
like the new ones.
Well, maybe the new ones are different, but this one I can tell when it's
mine's got
taking off some cylinders.
I got a button I can push to override it and just keep it in 8-cylinder mode because it's just you don't want that.
So, you got the ones that when you're stopped it shuts off, and then when you
yours does that?
No, mine doesn't do that.
Okay.
But I've driven some rentals.
My buddy's Ram has one
that do that. I get a minivan down at Disney when we go down there, and it does that. First time that did that, I'm like, oh man.
It can't be good. It just can't. Long term, it can't be good.
The first time I got one of those things and it shut off while I was stopped at a light, I'm like,
car brake, did it break down?
Crap. And what am I going to do now? And then I put the gas on. I started up again.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
okay.
It just can't be good for them, though.
No.
It can't.
So it's supposed to save fuel, right?
Nah.
That's the whole point, but I don't know how because you got to accelerate,
But
start
yet
up.
But yet they've always said that starting a vehicle up takes more fuel than letting it idle for 5 or 10 seconds.
Yes, I don't know what the
I
thought
don't
process
get it
is.
either.
So
I don't
anyway.
either.
All right. Well, don't have anybody making any comments. Nobody's adding anything
Yeah.
to the conversation here. So I think everybody's either heading to the game.
Maybe.
Go Griswold. Try not to make this as much of a heart attack as the last game was.
Yeah, you don't want to blow out.
Oh, my word. The
Make it a good game.
The place was going nuts.
Make it a good game.
When they took the lead. But the cheering section's got to get louder, So some of the moms that are the kids that they're supposed to, I said, make sure you talk to them. Next game, they got to get louder. So during the course of the game, because the other team's cheering section was pretty loud. But
you got to create that distraction.
Yeah. Luckily, you're the home team. You got to make more noise.
Sure.
So hopefully they will tonight.
Good luck.
Yep. Good luck to the Griswold basketball team. And I guess that'll do it. We'll be Mike will be back Monday, unless they got a game scheduled. We'll figure that out. But you guys have a good night and have a good weekend. Try to stay healthy.
Adios.
All right. Adios.